Okay.
touch I'll ever want. I feel your body when it's giving in. Can you just hold me in your arms? 'Cause I don't wanna come.
Yo, Nicholas James. Thank you, brother. Glad you enjoyed it. Tried to make it fun and comedic while also keeping it a little bit, serious, so there was at least something for people to go off of other than me just tangenting. Bro, I knew I could stoke Raz up pretty heavily. Yo, what's up?
Howdy.
How we doing?
Pretty good. Oh, okay.
Let me pull this up.
I'm just gonna leave that on then.
Oh, there's that.
Have my cuck chair.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll block it.
Not very cuck of you to block it.
Yeah, it's not.
Fun
Dang,
fact,
this-
I used the word cuck in the 100 Thieves Discord today and got myself auto-muted.
What? They banned that word?
There's a filter on it, so I was like, oh, well, whoops. Sorry.
Fair enough.
Didn't
I
mean
guess.
to do that one. My bad. Know the rules now. I think you can say fuck, but you can't say cuck.
Makes you wonder who's the... Somebody. Somebody in that mod team.
Nah, they're all great over there. I ain't going at anybody.
You don't have to, but I'm just watching. Dude, what is going on with this camera in this room?
I don't know, but it's very techno. I like it.
This is what I get for calling somebody a cook.
They decide to clap back in the hardest way possible.
Ali.
I'm trying to check the comments of Hotline League. I have not checked to see if anybody's commented on my on me going at Travis in that episode.
Oh, there'll be a new comment now in the podcast comments instead of pizza. I wonder what they're gonna say about you eating a chicken pot pie.
I don't know. I haven't had a chance to eat because Emily and I were looking at there was an apartment building in a complex in an area that we really like further down or actually closer to the city in Jersey City.
Nice.
And we could have made it work, but financially it just didn't make sense at the moment. That it's like, we'll stay where we're at because the area.
That's fair enough.
The apartment that we have here is ridiculous, but the area is kind of The area down there, incredible. The apartment a little bit less, and it would have been a little bit more money because it's in a better location. So it was like, do we do it or do we just hold off for a little bit? We decided to hold off, but that's about it. How you been?
Good. I guess I can say it on here now, but I don't know if I have. But Sam posted our baby announcement on Facebook.
Hey, there we go.
That's official.
Paul's officially going to be a daddy.
Yeah, she posted that, so I've been getting a lot of, like catching up messages and trying to respond to all those and keep up with people. So that's been a good time.
How far along is she
now? Weeks wise, I don't know exactly, but I know it's due March 10th.
So you're still very much in first. She's got 6 months to go then. So
yeah,
you're
she
almost
just finished
trimester.
hers. Yeah, it's like 13 or something.
Okay, but the first trimester is like the hardest part, right?
Wait, allegedly.
Emily, first trimester, the hardest part of pregnancy, right?
It's supposed to be, yeah.
Okay, yep, we're fine. I wanted to make sure I didn't make an ass of it. Yeah, most sick. Yeah, but we're talking most sick, like the most annoying to get through, and like the. Okay, well, regardless, I'll take the dub on that. I know at least a little bit, so I'm happy.
Yeah, she's been very nauseous, so I'm hoping like this second part is really easy. I mean, it won't be because first part is like nausea and vomiting and all that, and she just refuses to vomit. So
really,
she would just fight through the nausea. Yeah.
Ugh.
But
there's
second,
no way that's good for the body.
Probably not, but she doesn't vomit. She's just very stuck on like she will not vomit ever.
Hates that feeling. I get that.
Yeah, that's the road we decided to go down. And we lived with it. And then trimester 2 is supposed to be like just a ton of stuff. Like, but it's like weird stuff. Like some of it is like constipation. Like you just won't like certain foods. There's a random part where they'll get super horned up.
Yep.
Like
I wasn't sure whether it was proper to ask or not.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but I was like, when does the porking come?
Which is awkward because I'm traveling for this job, trying to get a more local job. So right now, I guess I'm just hoping that she, whatever tools she has, I'll use the word tools. She uses them wisely. And she doesn't go beyond tools.
There's got to be some there's one 14-year-old in this chat that's learning a lot right now.
Yeah, for real.
It's learning so much.
For real. But
to that kid,
it's
nope, I'm not. Nope, not.
Yeah, my bad. I shouldn't have done that, and I'm sorry.
No, we're both adults. We know when, like,
Yeah.
we're all there. We all had Xbox 360 controllers when we were young. It's the same thing. Like,
True. It's gonna be interesting though going forward because like she just craves Subway, and she only likes it cold. But she can't eat cold deli meat because of listeria.
Yep.
So she can't have the one thing she craves. So she's always moody because of that, like in a pregnant way. Like I'm not saying moody like I'm bothered.
No.
Like
Anybody
Yeah.
anybody that's an adult knows what you mean.
yeah. She wants this thing she can't have, so I just take it on the shins and I give her a food she doesn't like.
Emily's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
She loves sushi, and you cannot have sushi.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
But the thing is, Emily
sir.
also loves pickles. Like, loves pickles. Like, I know, like,
Okay.
I'm just gonna go to Costco's and BJ's and get massive tubs of pickles.
Yup.
Because I know it's coming.
Oh, bro.
Just have them all ready.
She just went after Chex Mix. Like, she's never, ever in our, well, it's not like it's been a long time, but in our 2.5 year relationship, she's never been one to eat Chex Mix. But we were going to Costco and buying, like, big family, like, 4-pack bags, and she was clearing through them. Now, I will say a bit of that was my fault, because when all those Chex Mix are in the house and she'd eat Chex Mix, I would be like, I mean, I like Chex Mix, so
She's eating for 2. You're eating for 1, motherfucker.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if we need more Chex Mix, I just go buy more Chex Mix. So, because at this point, every dime that needs to be spent on food she likes gets spent on food she likes. So then, if like she eats something, I'm like, well, I like that, so I'll take a bite, and then she'll be like, well, now I want more, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll go buy more.
Welcome to the pack mule delivery service.
Yeah,
Her diet is your diet.
pretty much. And then whenever she decides it's over, I just have to finish it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to, but I enjoy
you will.
to. Yeah, I enjoy to.
That's my tradition around here is like Emily will order food, and it's like, don't leave it out. She's like, what do you mean? I said, you leave it out on the counter, it will be gone. Like, I'm not gonna lose
Yeah.
food that's sitting there untouched because your ass is gonna be sleeping in the bedroom for the next 5 or 6 hours. Oxygen's gonna hit it, and it's like, I'm gonna eat it. Like, it's that simple.
Bro.
You put food on the counter, I'm gonna eat it.
And I like how Nick put it. He said, my client is merely a man, Your Honor. A man presented with Chex Mix. And that is true. And what am I supposed to do? When there's endless Chex Mix in front of me, I happen to consume. But enough of, I guess, Chex Mix talk. I mean, I guess bigger things in the league have happened this week. Things that don't change my life, but greatly change one of our lives.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh. What? Dude, I cannot put into words how freaking incredible the last week has been. Of just
Yeah.
riding this high. Dude, I was so worried. Not that I didn't mind the fact that C9 fans were probably going to come after me pretty hard if we lost that series, because I did a lot.
Yeah, you
I
earned
did
it.
I did a lot more taunting than
Yeah.
I think anybody. Like, I can think like Dom hates T1 and like taunts them all the time. But I
Yep.
don't know anybody else on the LoL esports team or like scene that has ever like specifically gone after a team every single day for a week leading up to the match. Before we even knew that we were
Yep.
playing them, when it was Dignitas, I'm still going at him, and I'm like, dude, this is gonna come back to bite me in the ass so bad. So bad.
I thought it would.
And it didn't.
It didn't
didn't.
at all. I thought it would. Dude, I was dying because like that 5-game series against Dig, I was like, bro, he's host. I was like, this man is host. But that was pretty sure that was the one you were flying back, right?
Yeah.
That day, or you were still at
No, I was at the beach
Myrtle?
there, and then I flew back
Yeah.
on the TL FlagWest series.
Yeah, I was like, okay, he's chilling. So I wasn't bothering you while you're chilling on the beach. When you guys won, I was out doing stuff in Iowa with Sam at some big old fair they have.
Yeah.
So I was like, good for him. I'm gonna let him be. And then when you guys beat Cloud9, I was like, bro, you're so lucky. This is why, though. Remember at the beginning of the year, I told you I'm thinking about picking 100 Thieves over NRG because I think if your roster like ever figures it out, it could be worth it. And I didn't. I obviously I just didn't want to be the same team as you for obvious reasons, and I enjoy the banter, so I went the other way, and it obviously did not pay off. It failed pretty hard. It looks like, I mean, you guys legitimately look like in that series to me, you looked competent.
Yeah.
I know people are saying like JoJo did choke, and I get that. But you responded to everything you did, and you did the right moves exactly how you were supposed to. And that's really what you're looking for is execution.
That's the thing that I don't understand is like a lot of people are going at like this was more of a C9 collapse than a 100 Thieves like win is like, okay, by that metric, because I saw it in chat earlier and I wanted to ask you about like where you thought this ranked in terms of like all-time LCS only upsets, not comparing this to international tournaments. Obviously, those are like way different and way bigger scale.
Oh yeah.
But like you look back at the matches that people were comparing it to. You talk about Clutch TSM. You talk about TSM. Who was it? Golden Guardians. There's an element of those teams collapsing as well. And like people aren't pointing. It's like when they're comparing it to those, like, oh, these were like bigger upsets. It's like I'll give Clutch TSM that, sure, because there was an aura and expectation that like TSM would definitely like
be there
because they never missed finals prior to that point. They never missed like worlds in recent years prior to that point. The Golden Guardians one, I think you guys were rough during the regular season at points and like you weren't clicking. So as big of an upset as it was, like they're like you're gonna put that same weight and expectation on there. I just don't like how much people are like trying to write off how big of an upset this was because Cloud9 was collapsing. It's like everybody knew Cloud9 wasn't playing great and still picked them to 3-0. So like that to me weighs even more. Even if people are like, oh, like C9 wasn't at that power level. It's like you all knew that. Everybody knew after the FlyQuest series that C9 is not in peak form. And you're still telling me that we stand no chance, that we're gonna get 3-0'd, and that it's never gonna happen. Like
I think it's pretty much, this is one of those, if you're not a C9 fan, this is clearly one of the biggest upsets to you, like, that's ever happened. Out in my mind, because I'm not a C9 fan. If you're a C9 fan, then you're gonna say Clutch Gaming, because one, they got Vulcan out of it, so they love Vulcan. Like they have some things. They hate TSM, you know. So all of that adds up for them wanting that to be the biggest upset ever. And then the only other like weird run like this I can think of, like if you guys went to win it all, I would say it would
have to be TSM.
More wilder than the TSM 2021.
Like I get people are gonna bring up the NRG C9 series from last year. I'm sorry, like that to me is not of the same caliber because it was always a question of could NRG just put it together against C9? Because they've already done it in the regular season. There was no indication whatsoever that 100 Thieves was going to stand a chance in this series. None. We went to 5 games against Dig. Everybody and their fucking mother was counting us out. Like, try to put yourself, like, my challenge for people whenever they say that this wasn't one of the biggest upsets, try to rewind time to Saturday evening and think about where you were at that point and think from that perspective coming into the series.
No, and I mean, the NRG one reminds me more of the EG one. Like when EG ran that losers bracket, like you kind of could feel EG and NRG were like starting to heat up a little bit. and you were kind of wondering what was going on there. I feel like if 100 Thieves could make that run, which I mean, obviously none of us think they will.
No,
That's why it's so
even look,
insane.
even I'm a 100 Thieves fan. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we're going to beat fucking
Yeah.
TL. Are you kidding me? I can rationalize how we beat FlyQuest. That I can do. I can't
Yeah.
give you a pathway at the moment on how we beat TL.
Yeah. That's why it reminds me of that TSM 2020 team though. Because really when they were doing that crazy run, everybody was like they shouldn't even be here. They got 5-0'd by Golden Guardians and then came back like in a down 2. So that's kind of cheating. And then the next 2 series everybody was like, I mean, this team looks pitiful. They're going to get curb stomped at Worlds, which they did, and they're going to get knocked to 3rd seed. And somehow they managed to put 2 more series together, but I don't feel like anybody really thought they were going to go crazy because I remember the way I remember it was everybody sitting there going, Double Lift and Biofrost are playing so bad that it's like legitimately embarrassing, like how bad this is. But I mean, they won anyways.
And BB and Speaka were just going fucking nuts.
Yeah, and a lot of people have like changed it over to Bjerg was going crazy on Zillion, which he was at that time going pretty crazy, but I think that's revisionist a little bit because I don't remember at the time people were saying our whole bot side was bad and our top side was the only thing even keeping us afloat.
Well, I mean, think about why do you pick
Zillion?
Zillion? You pick Zillion to enhance your jungle topside.
Yeah.
To give one of them a lifeline out so they can be more aggressive. Like that's the whole reason you pick Zillion is to basically be a Taric funnel to somebody else's resources, which was BB and Speaka hard carrying games because Double Lift was not on point during that entire playoffs. Even in the win, wasn't on point.
No, and this would be like that to me. This would be insane, but this would be on steroids because one, it's a team that nobody has issues with mainly. I don't think people would really hate to say 100 Thieves was the craziest
Monty would
winner ever.
Monty would have to pull his fucking hair out to admit that Ayla is an LCS champion. He would lose his goddamn mind. And I would
that's
love
true.
It.
But
I had people coming after I put out that like Monty like video thing. I had people coming into my DMs thanking me for putting that out. They're like, fuck this guy. I'm like,
yeah. I mean, it is funny because Ayla played really well that series.
He did.
And I was not an Ayla supporter. You talked about it in your videos. You were like, now we got to give credit where it's due to Ayla. And even in there, you were like, yeah, everyone and their mom has been going hard on this guy. And he deserved it until now.
And that's the thing is like I don't like when people revise history. It's like, no, you're good. I can hear you. Oh, his internet might have went out. So I'll keep talking in the meantime. What I don't like when people do is they just revise history. Is like, in this case, luckily I'm not seeing it a lot with Ayla. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back now.
No, you're back. I don't want people being like, just writing off what was said about Ayla. The fact that he performed this well, despite like all the past issues, is a good thing. It means that he's progressing and he's learning. And the fact that you're seeing him enable Tomo so well, whenever the conversation was, does this guy just ruin every ADC he touches? And now Tomo looks amazing. Like,
yeah.
Call it honeymoon phase all you want. Maybe we have a Team Liquid style blow up at Worlds. Who knows? And somebody claims that Quid is a Yone Yasuo 2 trick. I don't know, but
doesn't matter at this point.
No.
You made Worlds.
Exactly. We're there. I get to make fucking 100 Thieves videos for next month.
Yeah.
Great.
I was gonna say, your YouTube views are saved, so
dude, I had a whole
don't care.
I had a whole thing a week ago where I'm sitting there mapping out content through October, and it's like, man, it would have been really nice to have the rendezvous for just like all the way through Worlds.
Yeah.
And have that like slot to do it. And then we won. I was like, well, all those video ideas that I had, just push them off to the side.
Yep.
That's fine. Now we got to do a video after every day the 100 Thieves plays. Like, I'm like, I will be the 100 Thieves guy so long as we're there.
Yep. Which is huge. That's what made me smile more than anything. I was like, Dave just got the easiest path to videos, and that's so good for you. Like, because it's well deserved. You've been like building the 100 Thieves fan base.
What do you mean?
so-
I'm the worst part about 100 Thieves winning. Didn't you hear?
Yeah, that's true. I haven't watched that clip on Hotline League yet. Is it really good?
I mean, it's just Travis.
People
Like,
have been loving it.
Cubby basically came on and said, "Hey, I pinged David to see if he wants to come on and gloat a little bit." And Travis is like, "No, I don't want him on here. Like, he is the worst part about 100 Thieves winning." And Raz just starts dying laughing. So then whenever I get on the call, I have like a take of like, we're gonna beat FlyQuest and all that, but I'm just like writing off Travis every time. And like I'm halfway through like a point as like I specifically says like, okay, Travis, I'm ignoring you. I'm gonna talk to the people that really matter, Cubby. And I just start talking directly to Cubby, and I say it out loud, and it felt so fucking good. It was great. Oh my god, it was so much fun. Raz is in the back laughing the entire time.
I bet.
Previous caller shouts out Honda, despite the fact that he's sponsored by Kia because his like wife or like he's supporting like TL, and Travis is like, bro, why would you shout out a different car company whenever I'm sponsored by this I might have to edit this shit out. So whenever I go onto the call, Travis is like, well, I joined the call. He's like, David, where are you calling from? I'm like, Jersey City. He said, any shout outs you want to give before we kick you out? I said, do you want me to shout out the car brand that the last person said? He's like, no, shut up. Just give your take. And I was like, yeah, there we go. I got him. I fucking got him. You can't say shit now, boy.
That's so good.
I drop Honda, all of a sudden you're panicking. Kia's sitting there like, what the fuck is this guy doing? 2 Honda shout outs? What are we paying you for?
Oh my gosh. Dude, I decided today to listen to the pros. Because I had to pick Hotline League or the pros for my drive.
No, pros was a great choice.
Yeah, it was really good. Like, APA and Inspired did a good job. Getting to hear Sniper actually in a long form, like comfortable content piece was really nice. Like, I actually felt like I learned the most about him from that than any interviews, really. Because in interviews, he can tend to like get scatterbrained and they don't really carry him through. I felt like Inspired could help walk him through some of it because it killed me when he said like, yeah, I mean the feeling of going to Worlds is just insane. I mean, I don't know how to explain it to you guys. And Spire's like, we know, we get it. He was like, we've done it. He was like, if you've ever gone to Worlds for the first time, I don't know how to explain it. And Spire's like, yeah, we've done that.
APA's like, bro, I was literally there last year. What do you mean?
Yeah. Like,
Lil bro was on
killed
cloud
me.
9. He forgot that everybody else in the world existed.
Yeah, he was. And it was just great episode. And I mean, it's just insane though how even they were like, oh man, like C9 was kind of moving in this direction. And it's like it didn't feel that way from outside looking in. Like it kind of felt like for all of us, like I was seeing on Twitter people putting rumors, that C9 was struggling in scrims or something or not looking as hot, or you'd hear it in interviews. But I was like, most of those are one-off remarks. Not going to put stock into that.
Yep.
And that 100 Thieves was doing great in scrims. That was a very popular rumor, and I guess it wasn't a rumor. And all of a sudden now, like, you're kind of looking at C9, like, what do they even do? Like, I don't know who you replace, because that was probably one of Vulcan's better series, but he's, like, the guy who I would have thought they would have replaced on the roster, but now I'm kind of looking at it like, well, he played fine.
The question is whether
they want to get rid of JoJo.
The question is whether he pairs well with like the pieces that they want to keep, which are going to be like, I mean, the ballsy thing to do would be to cut JoJo, but I don't think they do it because you pay him way too much. Like his value is way too high. What I think you likely do, and I think LS rumored it, is like JoJo Pune, Thanatos, Berserker as your core. But like, unless Berserker gets his green card, you gotta go domestic jungle, domestic support. What the fuck are you gonna do? Like, what
Yeah.
options do you have? That's
No,
not
for real.
blabber. Oh, you're gonna bring in XU and like viably tell me that like that's hey, maybe you need to do that for the morale and the vibes. Fine, but like you get rid of Vulcan. Like you're not gonna get Busio from Cloud or from FlyQuest.
Mhm.
Maybe you bring. I mean, people are gonna be pissed, but maybe you bring in Ayla. 100 Thieves, is no mas
Oh
after this year.
gosh.
But like, who are they gonna get?
Oh, I really don't know. Cause I mean, you could import support, I guess,
But you
but you
can't
can't
if
keep JoJo and Blabber.
unless Berserker gets his green card. You can't.
True, and he might want to go back to Korea at some point. That's a good point.
I do you believe that he wants to be here?
It's hard to tell. I think he wanted to play on this roster because it sounded like a super team on paper. Although this roster was like whole separate convo we can have during off season, but this roster is the best example of the roster construction theories and how they made mistakes. Like it's just such a good one. Comparing this one to other rosters, oh, it's beautiful. We can talk about that another day. But he probably was told like they'd get JoJo, they'd have Blaver, Fudge is coming back. Like this sounds like a good roster in theory. Then it doesn't go well, so they add, and by not going well, they get third. Tough life, and they decide to add Thanatos, which sounds even better. So he keeps sticking it out. But you got to think at this point, who knows where he's at mentally? I mean, I don't even know if he did decide to stay here. If he'd look at a like incoming team, depending on what big teams try to buy in this year, because it seems like some big team could probably try to join LCS.
I keep seeing people saying that it's going to be one of the NACL teams that gets chosen by Riot for that last slot. There's no fucking way. They're going
I
with
highly doubt
Sentinels
it.
100%. There's nobody
Something like
else.
that.
There's
Is
literally
Sentinel's
nobody
money
else.
right?
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Like,
Okay. The
what's
only
the,
other team I can think of that buys back in is like, unfortunately to say this is TSM
maybe, but
trying to buy
dude,
back
that
in, but I think they don't like each other. I would think. You would think. But stranger things have happened with Riot Games.
here's my thing with C9 though. Both Berserker and Jojo Pyun could go over to Korea tomorrow if they wanted to, and
Yeah.
be on top 5 teams probably.
JoJo would. I don't know if he helped the stock this year.
Maybe not, but it could also like it's one of those things where like I think if you're a team that is like one piece away over there, you take a chance on them.
True.
Especially Berserker. Berserker's like hands like you get him around like good players, a good environment, like he regains that spark. That dude could be good.
Yeah. I mean, he really just needs a jungler, right, who can walk him through the game. Like that's really it. The only problem for them was when I hopped in during the C900 Thieves?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I came in and I said, yeah, they just don't fit. The real meaning I was having behind that isn't just the champs, They did end up picking Ivern one game. But really, Blabber and JoJo are not, neither of them are like perfect or even great, really, at playing the supportive style for each other. They're perfect at playing aggressive style, but you can't have both of them playing aggressive style.
Yeah.
It just wasn't working. I don't know why. I don't know who you could put supportive to help it, but for some reason they couldn't do it in playoffs. They couldn't put everybody on aggressive champs and win.
I'm curious to see if FlyQuest maintains like their squad year over year, assuming they get beat by TL, assuming TL wins the split, and then if FlyQuest goes in the Worlds and like doesn't do all that well, I'd be curious to see if they remain the same or if Inspired like wants to get back with JoJo, because I've never heard a jungler talk about like one of his past players of like I can fix him. Like Inspired talks about
Yeah.
JoJo. I've never seen that level of like it's not even dick riding. It's just like almost like he didn't want them to break up, but yet he got forced into it.
Yeah, he knows how to make him play at his peak.
Yeah.
That's what I think he cares about more than anything. I mean, for FlyQuest, I feel like that'd be a no-brainer. If C9 cuts JoJo, why wouldn't you go grab JoJo?
I mean, because JoJo's going to be fielding high-end offers everywhere. Every team across the world
Yeah.
is going to be trying to pay for him. Like, I get he didn't have a good split, but like, I feel like the mechanics are there. I still feel like everything is going to be there.
Yeah.
To, like, people take a chance.
I think Fly could like offer the same type of thing as a mid-level Korean team.
I just want to see Inspired and JoJo together.
Yeah, that's why I think
just think
would
those
really
two together
okay
work
going there.
well. Work so
I mean,
well.
it's crazy to say, and people won't believe it, but him over there does make them a super team.
Yeah.
Like, in theory. Which people are going to be like, well, how's that work now? Because we just saw he doesn't make a super team. But if you send Inspired over there, I think he does make them that.
My only question for them would just be top lane at that point. You need Blippo to like be way more consistent. But
Yeah. I mean, but that's a problem they can figure out down the line.
yeah. Because I mean, like, if you're FlyQuest, like, all of our top 3 right now, like, the reason why I'm so happy that these 3 are like our guys is because all of them have very solid cores that will be around for years to come.
True.
100 Thieves, even if the brand, which I'm getting more and more faith by the day that we might stick around, given all the other moves that we've been making, which we'll talk about that separately, but like Sniper, River, Quid is a solid core. Tomo and Ayla looking great as well. Like, the squad's developing pretty quick. For now, there's not many glaring holes other than like these guys just got to continue to learn, continue to absorb everything in. TL,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you're ever gonna make a better squad than what TL's got on paper.
No.
Like, it's just they're just good. It's just a matter of them continuing to learn and evolve. And then for FlyQuest, it's like, honest to God, I think you're just like the core of Masu, Busio, and pick any one of the other 3. Like, they're fine. But like that, their bot lane is just set up so like, oh dude, FlyQuest bot lane in 2 years is gonna be disgusting. Like, watching Masu Busio go up against Core JJ Yawn for years to come is going to be phenomenal. And even if Core retires and they get a younger support in there, it's like, oh, dude, it's going to be so much fun to watch.
They'll be fine. I mean, TL has so many import slots and such a good scouting team, they could find pretty much anybody round everywhere. But it is going to be tough for everybody because it doesn't seem like Impact intends to retire anytime soon.
Nope.
And TL is relatively like they really are kind of young.
Well, 2 of the players are. The other 3 are, well, I don't know about Umti, but like Impact and Core JJ are fucking old. Oh, Umti's old?
Umti's old. I was more meaning I didn't finish it well. I was more meaning they're young in like their roster time.
Yeah.
And those guys, like, the fact they're only going into year 2 of being all of them together really is going to be like next year is going to be insane for them because realistically, most people after the season they're going to have, if they cap it off with another win, like, they're going to get one more year of just 1 year of results don't matter next year because that's what you get. And then they'll have 1 more year after that where they would even start to question who's the problem if they don't win anything next year. But the fact they're doing decently international and they're performing really well domestically, I think they bought themselves next year they could do whatever.
I'm about to say something very controversial, and I understand you're going to probably really roll your eyes at me for this. I feel like in the next 2 years, we're going to see a North American finalist in one of the international tournaments.
MSI or World?
Or the beginning one. But don't forget we have a third one now. We're
yeah.
increasing the amount of international competition, which means that there's going to be more chances each year for some of our guys to go and continuously experience high-level play, sponge and absorb that, You have great coaching in Spawn and Golden Glue as well, who's clearly like following in Spawn's footsteps. You clearly have decent coaching over at FlyQuest because they are continuing to learn from like early mistakes. Esports World Cup was a notable step up from what we saw before that, and it's like I'm a big believer that the more you get exposure to things, the more you can adapt to them. And I feel like for whatever reason, like if our squad stay together and continue to learn and continue to evolve, I feel like we could hit a final. I'm not saying we win it by all means. Like I think it's like, you get a little bit easier path. You get a little bit of an upset at some point.
Yeah.
But like I feel like it could happen in the next 2
I
years.
I don't think that's the farthest thing off to say. I think there's a chance something like that could happen. I mean, the way TL is playing and starting to learn teams, they're getting there. Like, they're getting to a really nice point, I think. The way they play G2 seems... Well, they haven't really played with G2, have they? TL. But if G2 is figuring out other teams, I think TL could.
Yeah.
I think TL's on G2's level. And G2 beat Top, and they beat T1 in one series?
Yeah.
Then got destroyed. No, they went to 5 games and then they got destroyed.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But still, like they beat
Thank
the
you.
second seed Chinese team. I think TL could pull that off because they came close to T1. It's just gonna be interesting. I mean, there's a lot that would have to happen for an NA team to make it. It's not easy.
No.
It is a long road.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's any time that we've had, like, there's probably no time I've had that we've had a better chance. Because right now it looks like LCS is playing some of its best League of Legends, which is kind of insane because it felt like we were about to die as a region for a second there. But I'm also like sitting here watching it going, low-key, nobody's watching this with me, but this is insanely good league at some points. I thought TL Fly was good. I know Inspire's going to say it was bad, but that's just because he's a European.
Yep.
That's what Europeans do. They just say everything sucked if they lose. But
you compare that to how some of the series ended in LEC.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there like, oh.
Yeah, that was a good series. I mean, there were some times Fly inted for sure. Like that APA pentakill was kind of just FlyQuest running it down, but it still goes on the record books as a pentakill.
Yep.
So it was good overall, I think. And they definitely like make each other think, which I think is good, and that's what's making them so good as a duo. Like FlyQuest and TL kind of just pushes them in hands, which FlyQuest needs to be pushed like mechanically, and then TL just needs their brains pushed, and FlyQuest does that for them. Because FlyQuest realizes they can't out team fight them really, so they just try to outthink them, and it makes the games actually good.
That's why I think we have a perfect, you know how they call it the circle of suck? I don't know what you want to call it for us, but we have like the circle of improvement is what I'd say, because we have 3 teams that perfectly counter each other. FlyQuest has the brains, but tends to lack some of the hands. 100 Thieves, I think, is like a good counter in that sense of like they have the hands and they will skill check you, but they lack the brains sometimes.
Yeah.
So 100 Thieves can beat FlyQuest, possibly. Like in my mind, like maybe it's like Delulu logic, whatever. TL beats the shit out of 100 Thieves because they have the brains and mostly the hands, but more importantly the brains to just like put them in the dumpster. Whether it's lane swaps, better macro. You can argue that Sniper has better hands than Impact, as he's solo killed him many times already. You can argue that Quid is better than APA in terms of hands, because we've seen that throughout the year. Maybe not recently, but like earlier in the year, yeah, we saw Quid get the better of them. But then FlyQuest is like the only team that I think effectively challenges TL, because they have the brains to go with them, but their hands are just a little bit less. So it's like TL or Fly helps TL. TL helps 100 Thieves because it forces 100 Thieves to think. 100 Thieves helps FlyQuest by forcing them to get their hands up.
Yeah.
And it's like a nice triangle of like improvement where they all have things that like they can help each other with.
Yeah. No, that is a good way to put it, because that is pretty much what all of them are. It's just slowly trying to push each other to get better. I think C9 and 100 Thieves you could literally just interchange in that triangle of improvement, like, because that's basically what C9 was for both of them. Like, I don't think C9 was kind of. I mean, last year they weren't really like challenging them in the playoffs. They were a tough beat for both of them, but they weren't like, you could tell Fly and TL kind of had a level up on them. In regular season, it almost looked like C9 had figured it out, but they still looked a little dumb. Or yeah, C9 looked a little dumb, but they
Yeah.
were kind of figuring it out, and their hands were so good they couldn't lose to anybody. Then they beat FlyQuest in regular season, so we were all like, ah, maybe they have figured it out. And then of course playoff comes and they go back to doing what they do.
Chat
They
said
couldn't figure it out.
Chat said 100 Thieves does not outhands FlyQuest. Bro, we've seen 100 Thieves get lead on FlyQuest. We've seen Sniper solo kill Blippo. We have seen Quid play better than Quad. We have seen River play better than Inspired, especially in the early game. Like, yes, 100 Thieves can outhands FlyQuest at points. Does that mean they can put it all together? No. Need to separate those two. But yes, there's 100% like the
Yeah,
possibility of them. That's not saying they're going to do it every time either, to be very clear.
yeah.
Like, they're young and inexperienced, and clearly it comes back to bite them in the ass quite a few times. But, like,
All we're saying is that in laning phase, they push them in a way that they need to be pushed, and then in team fights, they obviously don't push them in a way that
Yep.
they need to be pushed, because team fights, as much as they are about hands, are also a lot about your positioning and how you start it. And I don't think 100 Thieves knows how to do that perfectly.
No.
I think TL and FlyQuest have basically mastered that. FlyQuest probably mastered it a lot. TL is a little under them, but is so close. I mean, TL's so good.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like they're stupidly good right now.
He brings up a great point. He said, unfortunately, I do think Blippo knows how to put Sniper in the dumpster just like Impact. The thing is that here's the way I describe it, because Blippo talked about it on pros. So you have like video proof of this. He has said that like Sniper does have like the ability, like he knows the mechanics to be able to outplay Blippo. But that doesn't mean he's able to do it. And that doesn't mean he's able to put himself always in the right position. But like you put him on a 1v1 in mid, just relying on pure like hands checking each other. Yes, Sniper's able to do it. And Blippo has given him credit for that. And every like you listen to all the casters, even on the dive earlier today, all of them were talking about how 100 Thieves has the hands. Like, this isn't just me saying this. This isn't just me with copium, guys. This is like a lot of people in the community having this narrative of, yes, 100 Thieves are like raw mechanical talent. That's what they are. It's raw mechanical talent in most lanes. It's just a matter of whether it all comes together and pushes everybody forward united as a team. But they haven't been able to do that until the C9 series to really kind of break through.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's kind of obvious in the argument for why they have such good hands is that legitimately, if you watch a 100 Thieves game, they're just like punishing mistakes is basically just a different way of saying they have good hands and they're willing to hands check you.
They're willing to fight 24/7
Because,
and they'll win the fight.
yeah, if you're just constantly punishing mistakes, it's because you think you can check them,
Yeah.
and usually your hands checking people. Like, I know it's not very hard to press Maokai W on a LeBlanc, but they were constantly, every time JoJo went in, they had no problem all going in on him.
Yeah.
Super aggressively and just throwing a fight. Quid is constantly, dude. I wish he was my mid laner, because it gets you a little rock hard when you're watching him. He just flashes forward, bro, on Zeri, and
Yeah.
you're like, is this guy an idiot? And then he just starts fighting, and they're running away, and you're like, bro, they're literally just checking him.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's also stat checking, like, at the same time, but that's legitimate confidence in just that you're like, yeah, I think I'm better than them.
That final
Like,
fight
I'm
where
going to just do
fucking
this.
Tomo's Kaisa ulting into two of them is like the one
Yeah.
that just stands out in my head. Is like, I don't know any other ADC even yawn right now that can just like flick off the rational part of the brain that's like, I probably shouldn't ult directly into the face of a Leona who can stun me and kill me. Yet he does
Yeah.
it anyways and keeps two of them away from the fight to the point where everybody else is able to clean up. Like, I do not see anybody else in this league playing with that level of just blind aggression that 100 Thieves does.
Yeah, Tomo just fits in. That's why he's doing well there.
We are the
And why
bloodiest
he's
team
putting
in
them
the
up.
world for a
Really?
reason. Yes, we are the
With
bloodiest team in the
Tomo or
world
also with Meech?
all year. All year, even
Okay.
with Meech, we were still the bloodiest team. But I think even with Tomo now, we're still the bloodiest team.
Tomo's aura, I think, ups that.
Yeah. Oh,
It's his aura.
Because like that was our biggest problem with Meech in the roster was like Meech would sit back and would play
Yeah.
a little bit more passive, which threw Ayla off because Ayla's playing around Meech and trying to make sure that like he keeps him safe while River's going in, and it was always very disjointed. Where now Tomo's like, yeah, fuck it, we ball, and everybody's like, fuck it, we
Yeah.
ball, and just goes in, which by all means gets us killed sometimes and allows us to throw. But at the same time,
Mhm.
if everybody like we've talked about this even for low budget LCS. If you have 5 guys that are on the same page doing the same thing, you still stand a better chance of winning than 5 guys that are not on the same page but have better hands.
Yeah. And of course, like, when you're checking, there's also macro that goes into it and all this stuff. And you gotta outthink them too and make sure that what you're going in on and what your hands checking them on is smart. But punishing mistakes and being that confident usually comes with the fact, like, you legitimately think you're just better than them.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is your hands, because I mean, think about whenever you play a game, like, if you play against a gold player and you're like plat or emerald, you'll punish them way harder than you'll punish other opponents.
Yep.
Because you can just outplay them as well, so it doesn't matter if you mess up a little. And that's kind of the thought there, but I get, like, I'm sure there are tons of people who would tell me they have some different idea, but we are more of an aura podcast. You are definitely a gut guy. I occasionally try to throw stats into the mix, and at the end of the day, we go with guts. And like,
It's
legitimately
truly the Pat
yeah.
McAfee effect. Like that's all
It
it
is.
is. It's like, look, if you want stats, fucking go watch, Azale and Kobe break it down by the numbers and like do all that. Like, fuck that. It's boring. Give me the vibes. You think if I was a numbers guy, I would have said the shit that I said to C9 all week? No. But I'm a vibe.
Yeah.
I'm, like you said,
It's
pure
vibes,
aura.
bro. Yeah,
Pure
aura
aura.
vibes. And the gut. The old gut is always trusty. Like, it tells you what's good. Sometimes Chex Mix is good.
Sometimes
you
35
just
Guinnesses are good,
Yeah, sometimes. And then occasionally you look over and you're like, I genuinely think 100 Thieves could do this just because of their vibe. That aura is insane. Which, I mean, there's so many things Tomo is adding to. Like,
oh, dude, I know.
I mean, the communication he adds, obviously the confidence he's bringing to them. Like you said, that Kaiser art, I completely forgot about that. But I remember watching it, bro. I was like, I literally replayed that fight just to watch him. Because the first time I was watching the fight, I was like, okay, this is what happened. And I look up and I see him like way, way deep killing 2 of them. And I'm like, okay, something happened here. So I replayed it and I go back and watch it and I go, oh, okay, like bro just really like destroyed them and they kept running backwards. And I was like, at no time did they try to turn it, because it was a Sedge Leona, right?
Yeah, it was a Sejuani Leon. Like, he's not going to
Yeah, it
kill
was like
either of them. They're
I
too
was like,
tanky.
man, they didn't even try to like, use the Seji or reset it or something. Like, they literally just ran the whole time.
Well,
basically.
because they're stun locked, and I mean it's brilliant looking back on it because it's like, would you ever normally want to ult into that situation? No, but when he ults into the middle of them, it's like, okay, everybody like Leona Sejuani are trying to get to the rest of the team, and are trying to collapse. But if you just collapse and ignore the Kaisa, she will melt you from behind. She will kill you 100% if you ignore her. So like they kind of pause, but they don't use everything on Kaisa because it's like, okay, we don't have the damage to kill her between the 2 of us. But like we can't just let a Kaisa be behind us, but we can't it stun locked them, and you just saw them. They were just like moving back and forth, like not 100%
Yeah.
sure what to do as he like stopwatches and then flashes over the wall to go rejoin with the team, and it's like it was basically just a giant game of peekaboo.
Yeah. No, it really was. And it's just silly business. I mean, it's crazy that he got away with it, but at the same time, it's like kind of one of those things where you're like, yeah, okay. I was like, I like that. I like what I'm seeing. That's pretty cool.
When people tell me you're not going to get away with that shit at the pro level, yeah, and Gumayusi shouldn't get away with, Varus queuing a Baron and
Well,
then
yeah.
stealing it. Like, shit happens.
Well,
Like,
did
no,
you see the
bullshit.
Pays play?
No, I did not. What happened?
The Callista one?
No, what happened?
Dude, I need to send you the clip, and you should honestly play it on stream. Because Pays
do
does a Callista clip, bro. I know I'm gonna go on this rant again, but I mean this from the bottom of my soul. We are not recognizing the GOAT that we are getting right now, and the fact that an 18-year-old is curb stomping LCK. I understand his team is really, really good as a whole, but this kid is insane. Like, let me see if I can find it really quick.
I was gonna say, you go ahead. I can't see.
There's a Cadriel clip. Okay, Cadriel does have it.
Of course,
All right.
Gator has it. The god of everything.
Dude, I mean, it is genuine silly business how good Pays is.
We're visible.
And I
We
think
offer one
people are like, they're so
line
focused
wireless
on
plans
Chovy, which they should be, because Chovy's insane.
No
that
hidden fees
they're
for
like,
$25 a month on Verizon's 5G network.
"Aw,
One flat
man,
rate every
like,
single month.
Pays is just getting kind of carried, or he's just on a really good team." It's like, nah, bro. This kid's like 18 years old, just disgusting at this game. Super disgusting. Like this, he will go on to win. I think. I hope. I really hope after this team disbands. Did you find it?
Yep, I'm just minimizing us
All right.
in the corner.
No, you're good. You're good.
Down here. All right, Pays is playing with Callista Renata, so he has bailout into MF Leona, Yone. Oh, Jesus. That's a lot.
Dude, this is gonna get you rock hard as an AC player. This is the stuff.
Oh, nice cleanse. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, Pace?
Oh, and he got the... What?
Bro, it's so disgusting.
Bro, that is
Like-
gross.
The stuff he's doing, there's a couple mistakes he probably makes, or that they could have punished to kill him, but, like, bro, he basically solo carries this fight, bro.
That
He's
is
so
gross.
good. He's so good, bro.
Ew. I don't like what I just saw. That makes me... That grosses me out. What?
Well, I know it's scary.
Yeah, I'm good.
I didn't mean to scare us all. Like, showing us what he is. But, bro, it's like, come on, dude. He's so good at this game. But I've just remembered seeing that clip, and I was like, brother, we need more of these. We need ADC. And that's why when Tomo did that, like, it made me feel good. Because I was like, this is what we need. We need ADCs who do this. Like, this is what Chinese players are doing, bro. LPL ADCs only get LPL ADC recognition because they're psychopaths, bro.
Yeah.
They just perma fight, and that's how they get good.
I mean, maybe we'll see one of our ADCs level up this weekend to that point. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Masu's looking
Oh,
really
dude,
good,
I'm loving
that.
the more I see him play. It's just...
and Yan is Yan. I mean, he's pretty cracked. I'm not even gonna cap,
Yep.
but
Anything that I'm missing in terms of topic-wise
for League,
before I kick us over to 100 Thieves org stuff?
I mean, we already did all 100 Thieves playoffs. What? Talked about the pros. Talked about your time on Hotline.
Oh, I want to ask you
brought
about
up my
LEC finals.
I didn't even watch.
Oh, you didn't watch any of it?
No, but I mean, you can add. I saw the crowd.
That's what I was gonna ask you about.
Yeah.
How uh
I'm gonna say that's what you get. When you put in the effort into live crowds that they've put in, that's what you get. They reaped what they sowed, to be honest. I mean, they've made this like the Riot put all this effort into getting people to go digital. They wanted a digital online only audience, and now they're getting what they want, I think, because they want everything to be digital because it's cheaper. It's cheaper than buying a venue. It's easier than buying a venue. You and I think it's wrong. A lot of people probably think it's wrong, but Riot thinks it's cheaper to sponsor the leagues if they're online only, and I'm sure they're happy with how that went, if we're being honest, because it just gives them more ammo, because they're basically trying to sabotage in-person events and the idea of it so that they can get this. Of course, people are going to call me a conspiracy theorist, but literally Riot has said they want to be online only, and they think that the digital audience matters more than the in-person. So I don't know how else you take it, especially when they put all their finals in studio, except the fourth one Europe did. Like, dude, I didn't watch it because I was like, bro, I don't have time for a fourth LEC final. Like, brother, I'm not even gonna watch the highlights. I don't care who wins at this point. You know what? Like, this is your fourth winner, dude. Who cares who's winning at this point? It doesn't matter who wins, because a different person could win, but nobody does. The same team won 4 times. How boring is that? Well, wait, did G2 win 4 times? Yeah, they did.
yeah, they won all 4. They swept
That's
the
so
domestic.
boring. Like, who cares? Do something. Like, get somebody else to win. Dude, I don't even care if you have to, like, SMU them. Like, destroy their program so that we can have somebody else win one. So boring.
Oh,
Find
man.
something wrong.
I don't know. I will say it was fucking depressing on Friday. So depressed, or Saturday, watching that. I'm just sitting there and the crowd, like, it is empty. Just
Yeah.
empty for losers
for them.
finals. And I was like, oh, this is not good. You could have held this in Spain. You could have held this in France. You might have been able to put it in London, and it probably would have sold out instantly, and people actually would have showed up. But like, that's, oh. And now it honestly terrifies me for LCS finals. I know you lost internet, and I'll repeat it here whenever you come back. It almost looks like he has a bloody nose from that angle.
Back.
No, you're back.
Back.
You're back.
Wait, was it in Germany, bro?
It was in Germany. It was in Munich.
I mean, yeah. Get what you get what you deserve.
What do you,
You need that Joker
I'm scared for this
Yes.
weekend, if I'm being honest with you.
for ours.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that'll be fine. No,
Bro, they
tickets
just
are
dropped the
cheap.
tickets to 25. So
I
I saw
know.
Sean, for those that don't know or in chat,
Yeah.
Dark Serenade posted on Twitter that she's selling her tickets. I'm assuming she got a press or like media pass
Oh dear.
for the event. No, you're mostly good. And she was just trying to make her money back, but it was like $350 for like 2 tickets for
Oh dear.
both days. And now you're back. And
Yeah.
she ain't gonna get that money. There's no way.
No,
With tickets
siree.
being as cheap as they are now, I think they're like 25, $30. Like, you're not getting that money. And it's like, that's not even a. I don't understand why tickets were so expensive in the first place. If you know you're not going to sell it out, and we all knew you weren't going to be able to sell it out with higher prices, dude, the goal is just to pack it all the way through. That's the only thing. And it's like, you should have been selling tickets for like $30-$40 to begin with. Like, that should have been.
Chicago, New York. Nope.
I mean,
Bro, this goes into my. I know this is conspiracy theory. I know, but the cities they pick, right? Like Raleigh. I think Newark, I'll give them good faith in.
Yeah,
But
it was close
Raleigh,
enough to New York City.
yeah, Raleigh and LA, I think, is just more so they can keep doing the like, these events are getting great turnout, but they're picking, cities where you could go anyways if you want to. And I don't know how you expect to take a town where you've been only making about 100. How big is the studio there? 150?
300, I think.
Okay, so you have 300 people who have made a habit of going to games, and then you're gonna just put up the 6K and go, yeah, we think this should work. We should be able to pull 6K people from the 300 we naturally get, and it should work. It should work pretty fine. And then they go to Raleigh, which is like, okay, bro, that's like actually pretty far for most East Coasters to get
Yep.
to. And then their other, like, Newark was a good option, and did that one do well? Just okay.
Okay, I'd say.
Then I think their
best
data's already
50%.
been picked, bro. It's already over. They've seen that, like, they don't think in-person events are valuable. They've seen the data come in that it's not working out well. So they might as well. Not again.
Somewhat. I just don't. I don't know.
Dude, this internet's worrying me for game day.
For tomorrow. Yeah. What time is our game tomorrow, by the way?
Oh, it's not tomorrow, it's Sunday now.
Oh, it's officially Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, I can meet up with Cloud Sticky tomorrow then. I'll message him.
Yeah.
He's in town. He mentioned about trying to do
Nice.
like a podcast in the park, and I was like, it might not be a bad idea, actually.
That wouldn't be. That'd be
The
fun.
thing is, I don't have 2 mics, so basically we'd have to do. I'll attach a Subway. There's a guy that does like Subway interviews, and he attaches a microphone to a Subway card, and then they just kind of like pass it back and forth between the two of them. I think I might do that. Just have a mic that we pass back and forth between the two of us. But I gotta find out.
That's not a bad idea. That I just don't think. I think they've put a lot of data into the in-person events. I think with COVID, they never really recaptured what they had before COVID, and it's kind of just one of those things where they're comfortable with letting this die off pretty hard. I mean, because
I still like the idea of going to like a 5,000 person theater. Like I'm fine with that ultimately. But like I don't know. Maybe not LA. That sounds simple. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like here's my thing. Here's what you do. Give New York that lock-in finals every year. Every year. Put us in a Broadway theater that is like 2,000 people, 3,000. We don't need much more. It's a lock-in tournament. It's like the first qualifier for international play. That's fine. Like first event there. But give us an annual event every year in New York. Once we sold that out for 2 years, then we grow the arena. Then we go to 4,000 instead of 2,000, and we work our way up. And it's like, but then you get people accustomed to going each and every year, and they can plan like, hey, April every year, that league thing's going to be here. We can go. That'd be good. Same way that like the Cologne Cathedral, the Cathedral of Counter-Strike.
I'm doing a quick little order. Is there anything you need for work?
No, I'm good. Thank you. I'm at home the rest of the week. The Cathedral, yes, the Cathedral of Counter-Strike. They're there every year. They come back each and every year, and people are so used to it that like now it's a point where people want to go because it's one of the premier events. It's not even a major.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you're supposed to. You have to build people a habit. Like, college football is that way. I mean, NBA is clearly that way. They play so many games in stadiums. Football in general is that way. NFL is. Like,
God
you don't
bless
have to
NFL
put
D-backs.
finals. Yeah, that's true. You don't have to put finals in the same place every single time. I get that. I'm not begging for that. But it helps you so much if you want to build a crowd to build it a little bigger than what they're trying to do with their arena ones or
Yeah.
their in studio ones. The studio ones are just problematic, I think.
Bro, and the
Which
amount,
it's over now. The
the-
damage has been done.
the amount of content I could make if they had like an annual event here in New York City, bro, I would make one of those like flipping sign things and like make a video of me just going out in the street, like trying to like do that for the first time ever. And like just raise awareness. And the joke is like how much of an idiot will I look like, but at the same time, it will raise genuine awareness for the event and that tickets are on sale.
True. I mean, that's true.
It'd be so funny.
Oh, you know what we haven't talked about before, 100 Thieves?
What?
This is a big topic change, so are we done with this
Yep,
one?
I'm good.
Okay. What do you think about X being banned in Brazil? With
I
the
don't fully
Americas
know about
merger
that.
happening.
I don't. So what, it's just gone.
So right now, you can't download it, and if you use a VPN to access it, you can be fined up to $8,000 a day by the government.
Why?
Elon is like doing his free speech fighting over there, you know, and he's kind of saying a lot of things against the powers that be over there. So they're like they put a stop to it.
I feel like it'll be back at some point.
Which I know, like, he does a lot of disinformation stuff, so it's kind of tough to be like, well, it's kind of a bad look to stop the free speech guy, but it's also, like, awkward because he might say a couple things that
Yeah,
you
that
consider
are- yeah.
problematic sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, taking our current presidential candidate and making an AI image of her in a communist Nazi uniform is probably
Well, no,
pretty
it was
bad.
just communist because whenever somebody put Trump in a Nazi one, he got
Oh, yeah.
pissed off.
That's
And
what it
like,
was.
But that's,
Thank you.
brother.
Yeah, that's what you made it for.
You started this shit. Like you
Yeah.
can't be pissed at the inverse of this now.
might be what they call problematic.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
I mean,
shoot.
it's
Can
it
I?
sucks. Oh god.
I'm getting a phone call from my job.
Yep. Go right ahead.
Do you mind just riffing about
Yep. I'll
100
riff.
Thieves or something?
Yep. I'll riff about 100 Thieves. How's it going, Nancy? On the 100 Thieves front, on the org front, since Paul's not here, and I didn't get the chance to talk about it with the rendezvous as much because it was more about like the results, and we didn't know like everything that was going to be happening this week, despite DK teasing it. I love that like we are doing full events. Nancy, please don't promo other products. If anything ever happens like that, DM me or like message me on Twitter, but don't put it in stream like this. Thank you. On the 100 Thieves front, it feels like the thing that we've always done well is like the social side, which is like parties, events. It was always cool to try and like go to a 100 Thieves thing. And us sponsoring the after party is a big one for me because whenever we went to Detroit finals back in 2019, or I think back to finals last year in New Jersey, it was like, had Silvix not done his birthday party on the first day, we wouldn't have really had an after party to go to. And I didn't know where the Riot after party was going to go. And like the Riot, like trying to get into the Riot after party is like a recipe for disaster of how like you get on their bad side if you're not invited specifically to go. So you can't really kind of like go out of your way to kind of like push that. So then you're sitting there wondering like, okay, well, what do I do? You got like 5,000-6,000 people at the event there that clearly want to go do something afterwards most time, whether it's food, drinks, go out, party, talk about it, whatever. Like I get you've been in a stadium for a while and you're not going to get everybody to go, but like you will get like 1,000 or 2 people there. Same reason why TwitchCon, VidCon, and all that, like the after parties are just as big as like the actual events themselves, because 9 times out of 10, the creators and everybody else is like doing activations and stuff like that. They're busy during the event. They want to go out and party afterwards. So the fact that 100 Thieves is leaning into like their strongest point, which is throwing those parties, doing those activations afterwards, which maybe they could have like Noah J456 DJ, because it's going to be a 3-hour long thing. That'd be great. Shit, that's good. And then now on top of that, we finally have a official 100 Thieves co-stream with Courage, and it's exactly what I wanted. I know like it's only a finals weekend thing because there's so much hype, and like I'm glad that I'm glad that it's here now. I wish, obviously, I'm greedy. I wish that we had it more. I wish we had like Courage being able to co-stream all of the LCS games. But like he's a content creator, he's got his own life and schedule that's not built around like the League of Legends team, and he has to keep up his brand in order for like him to maintain the relevancy and popularity of everything else. But just in general, bro, it feels like we are making all the right moves at the right time, which gives me faith, at least a little bit, that we'll be around next year. Because if we weren't, now granted, the person that's putting on all of this is DK. And he has no say or word on whether like they're gonna go or not. In the 100 Thieves Discord, he specifically called out that like he is just on the social side. He has nothing in game, and like he's not told about anything there. Now, could he know and is just like still doing all the stuff anyways? Sure, maybe, but like I just feel like you wouldn't go this all out, even if you are in finals weekend. You wouldn't go this all out and like out of your way if you weren't going to be around next year. I mean, that's just my opinion of it. Like, why? I know Courage likes the team and likes the boys, but like, if you're not going to be here next year, why waste the time? It's not like you have all that much to sell. Like, sure, you got jerseys and some apparel, but it's not like there's the Valorant like bundle that you're trying to worry about like selling units and stuff like that. And the only way that you're investing all this time is if there's a long-term play to it. So I'm remaining faithful that 100 Thieves will be here next year. Is that a little bit of hopium from me? Probably, yeah. Because everything else still kind of indicates otherwise for now, but I don't know. We'll see.
Alrighty.
Welcome back.
Hally doodly. All good things, I hope.
I mean, I was just talking about like all the 100 Thieves stuff that got announced, the after party, Courage doing an official co-stream, which I was happy that my original tweet popped off to that level. And I appreciate anybody that was like, yo, you should give David the co-stream. It's like, that's not going to happen. It's not like, I would love it. It's not going to happen, guys. Like, just relax. As long as Courage is free, he's going to do it.
Which does make sense, but also, I mean, having you on there would be... I mean, I'm biased, but I think it would make sense.
It's... I mean, I won't worry about it until, like, I don't know. I'm curious to see next year. I just hope we're in it. Everything that's happening right now gives me, like, hope that we are staying. You wouldn't go this all out if you're going, right?
No.
You would do the bare minimum.
No, well, I mean, maybe they're just trying to last second cash in, but I know I'm being.
But like,
a
what are you gonna cash in and sell though? Like, it's not like they're gonna sell that
No
much apparel
clue.
at this event. Like, it's probably not
No
worth like
clue.
the hours if you're going away. Like, just I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm Delulu fully, but
Yeah, I mean, I think they're in one of those positions where it's like they didn't expect this to happen, clearly. And I mean, obviously, I think they would have already be set in stone on whatever they're doing with the future of the LCS team. So that shouldn't change it. But it is weird that now they're doing watch parties, all this plugging and everything. After a couple weekends ago, they like basically pretended like they didn't even have an LCS game going on. But that's from my outside perspective, looking in.
I mean, I'm not gonna fight you on that one. Like, I've had
That
my
was odd
criticisms.
to me. Yeah, but they're doing the right steps to fix that and to kind of push forward, so that's always good.
I don't know.
Sucks when the org only does it when you're winning, but
I mean, that's
yeah.
kind of the annoying thing, but like,
They pull better views than my team does, so
I mean, I just like to. I think about it like, hopefully, I've proven myself as the through line.
yeah, I mean what does your LoL team pull view wise?
That's a great question. I haven't checked in a while. I don't think we've posted anything to the YouTube in a bit.
No, you haven't. It's been 13 days. It's not even worth looking.
I don't know, but the rendezvous today, I can tell you, is sitting at 1,700 views, which is pretty
Dang.
high for my channel.
Things moving.
Doing well.
I wouldn't even go look at the Hundred Thieves channel. It's not worth it, bro.
I
The
mean,
sad thing is, it's one of the better ones for League of Legends teams.
yeah. Nate ID asked, would not making it to Worlds be the nail in the coffin? I don't think it mattered. I personally am of the opinion that the decision has been made. That Riot knows the teams that are going to be in and are not, and they're just waiting for everything to be wrapped up. And what's wild is that 100 Thieves, if they chose to go, by the way, Catman, thank you for the resub. FlyQuest 2, bring on TL. I like that. It's going to be a wild wild caveat in things of like, they were probably going to announce it after finals, before Worlds.
Yep.
Now, what are you going to do? Like, if 100 Thieves is going, what the fuck are you going to do now? Because you announced that, and dude, Worlds just takes a dark turn for NA.
No, yeah, I mean they won't announce. They should not announce teams till after that event. I mean, it would be very Riot.
Roster Mania is already. I promise you, Roster Mania has started behind the scenes.
Yeah, they probably should. That would mean they should announce it earlier, right?
In theory, because the other two teams, like the LLA team coming in and the team that Riot's awarding the spot, you can't just tell them in November, like, hey, you're in. Conveniently, every other team already has their roster figured out that's staying. You just get to pick up from the scraps. You can't screw them like that.
Maybe they, and this would be wild. Maybe they actually put in a no tampering period.
You can't enforce
and
that.
They actually.
How's he gonna enforce
actually
that?
live up to that? I mean, enforce it with suspensions, fines. I feel like fines in League of Legends would hit a team a lot harder, and it's not even
nobody's making any money. Yeah,
you pull their money, bro. That's what you gotta do.
Oh, you pull their stipend for the year. Wow.
You don't pull the whole stipend. I just mean like you just don't pay them a certain amount. Like that's way easier. You know what I mean? Than even finding somebody. You're just like, hey, you don't get your full amount. Like we're taking 2% because you did blah blah blah. Or like 0.05%, whatever.
Yeah.
Would be a healthy fine. But I mean, it's so silly. Like you're right to wait that long because you're just screwing
you literally
everybody
can't.
else. You're screwing them.
And you remember whenever Jungle Juice and crew were on here and like we talked about everything timeline wise, and he said like, yeah, going to Worlds like hurts you, but like there are like offers and deals coming behind. Like you might not listen to them, but they're there when you are at Worlds. So we know that it's ongoing right now for a fact. So they have to know.
C9's already doing stuff.
Exactly. Bro. We have to know who the teams are. They're just waiting to announce it.
NRG's already doing stuff just in complete just to get back at everybody for last year.
Yeah.
Because they weren't while they were at Worlds. And it screwed them. So now they're gonna do it early every time.
Yep.
Which is why
hate the game. That's what they're gonna say.
Yeah, which is why they said, even NRG said, like, probably be a no tampering period. But
there won't be.
There won't. Yeah, there's no way. They don't even have a bargaining agreement.
Nope. So, I don't know. I hope we're in it next year. Everything around here is giving me hope, but all of my dreams could be crushed in the next month prior to Worlds if it all comes out.
I mean, I do wonder what their... Dude, I hate to say this, but what even is their, like, level? What are they going off of? Because SR is basically not doing a ton. I don't know of many Shopify fans other than Cloud. Like, you really don't have to do much to get to stay. Do ya? Does Shopify have a ton of fans that I'm just missing out on? I feel like Cloud's the only one I know.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't even know. I can look at their YouTube, I guess, and judge it.
Their YouTube is a hybrid for all their programs.
Well, that's probably the best way to do it.
Well, they'll separate it eventually, as every team has.
Yeah, I mean, their YouTube doesn't... I'm looking. What happens when pro gamers try pottery? 86 views, 109. Voice comms at 218. 556 for how they ended their year, their final year in movie. 20-minute video has 500 views. Like, come on, man. You don't need to do much to stay in this league, because Shopify seems like they've been promised a spot the way they're talking. Like,
That's
NRG's not doing much better than that. And it looks like they've been promised a spot. Like, I know we make fun of Immortals and tell them they should be kicked out, but he ain't getting much better.
I don't get it. I don't. How am I beating them?
I mean, because you make more consistent and more interesting content.
I have no fucking. It's just me. They have teams doing this shit. How are you
Yeah.
not able to? It does like there doesn't have to be players in it. Like, how do you not find a way to make this shit work? Like, how do you not have a weekly update series on your team? That isn't
I
just
mean-
like vlogs. It's like somebody talking through and like giving a storyline. Like,
Dig is the probably best made videos.
and that's Selvix and crew. So
Yeah, and they're sitting at, like, they were doing good originally. They were sitting around 8, 8, 12. 16 was their peak. Then 7, 4, 3. And then a month ago, they just fell off a cliff. 2, 1, 3, 1, 3. Which, to be fair, one of those ones is 1.9. So 2, I guess. But still, like, that's the best little channel we probably have out of the two big two, which is TL, you know.
TLC9 are on a whole other.
C9.
And to be fair, FlyQuest gets views, but like that is LS reading patch notes, and that's
Yeah.
what gets them the big numbers.
So I don't know what you do if your other two, which for FlyQuest, that's fine.
Yep.
If it's LS reading, fine. You figured something out. That's better than what everyone else is doing.
Yep.
Like, oh yeah, you're a big three, I should have said. I forgot about that. There's the big three, but not the three going to Worlds. And but they pull views because they actually did some work and do some interesting things. It feels like the rest, like, I'm not going to blame all the people making those videos too bad, because we know them and they're good people, a lot of them. But there's something going wrong, because, I mean, they're getting paid to make this stuff and they're not pulling a whole much. And, I mean, that can't be making any money for the org.
No.
Did you hear, bro? I didn't even say this earlier. Did you hear the Dom thing reacting to your video
Oh, the Immortals
on
one.
Immortals?
Yeah. How they didn't
Did you-
sell any ad sales
Yes.
for an entire core.
A quarter, bro. A quarter. No, nothing. A quarter.
That's wild.
That's so bad.
That's wild. You gotta go. If that's the case,
Bro.
you gotta go.
A whole quarter? Like, I get it if I assume the quarter had to be between Worlds, you know, and off-season stuff. Like, that had to be the quarter. But
Had to be.
even then, how's that the quarter? You should be having rumor videos or roster reveals that do something.
Preseason hype, like testing out new
Yeah.
items, like
The only quarter, I can't think of a quarter where you would have none. Because even off-season, you should have something.
I'm curious to see if anybody does anything this offseason with Arcane. You are not going to get a
Yeah.
better opportunity to like cross over into the general League of Legends space than with Arcane. And it's like, how many teams
True.
are actually going to take advantage of that? Like, tomorrow morning, my reaction is going to be out. It's going to be on my channel. I'm going to, like, that'll probably do decently well. Is like people tune in because people want to see reactions on it.
Yeah.
And then Friday I'll have the pit and like got a bunch of shit coming. But like,
Yep. And I mean, that's the sad thing to me, though, is you, a man with a full-time job, living a relatively, I would say, very social NYC lifestyle, have a honestly better content plan than 64%. I'm just gonna give a random number of the LCS orgs. Like, that's so bad for them. I mean, it's a testament to your devotion as well, but also, like, come on, son. They shouldn't be doing this. I mean, come on, you gotta do something. Like, there's gotta be drive. Like, I know you can't be numbers obsessed, but you gotta get
I
some
mean, the numbers will
numbers.
come whenever you just keep like working on your content and like constantly improving it. Like like you need to
Yeah,
constantly be focused on how to evolve it, and like that's
yeah.
like
Like, honestly, what was it, the Sylvex one? Oh, you can finish your point.
no,
My
that
bad.
was all I was gonna say.
Oh, I was gonna say, Sylvex freaking said he might not be at LCS next year. Honestly, I think it'd be better for him. Go somewhere else
Yeah,
where there's more
yeah.
viewership opportunity.
He'd be
So
able to
you
make
can
a better
pump
name
numbers
for
up.
himself elsewhere at this
Yeah.
point.
Like, he could go make content for a different game and probably get way more views.
I mean, the question is whether he wants to or not. It's ultimate like
True.
passion is always going to be the thing that
Well,
drives it. And like I think that's the biggest downfall in content for most people at this point is like I don't get the sense that people are passionate about the content that they put out. They think they made a good
yeah.
video, but like it's not always clear to me whenever I'm watching content that like I don't know. I feel like I can see when people are faking it to a certain extent, and not even just faking it of like I'm trying this out, but like natural passion kind of bleeds through. And that
Yeah.
was one where like I've seen that in the comments of a few of my videos. Like I've always kind of known that like like I wear my emotion on my sleeve. Like you will know when I care about something versus when I don't, which makes it impossible for me to fake a video. So it's like I don't get that from like teams, and I get like for the teams, at least on their side, like they are centered around the players, and the players aren't passionate about the content, so that comes very, very clearly through on that. It's why sniper videos are really fun to watch because like he genuinely like enjoys being in front of a camera and talking, which is nice. But like
Yeah.
beyond that, it's like I don't know what to tell you. I don't.
I mean, it's tough too, because I mean, I think the idea of what you can do with these um content teams anymore, I just don't think it works with the player schedule.
No.
So there's something different they got to try to do. I don't know what you do. I don't make league content outside of this podcast, but they're hiring teams. They got to figure something out. Like, honestly, what you're saying with Ellis and patch notes, if that's what you got to do, if getting somebody to come in who's willing to sit in front of the camera, talk about the game, and that guy just becomes basically a internet personality for the team,
Yeah.
that's better than what they're doing right now.
Yeah. And like you can't, the thing is LS is at least like you get the perception that he likes FlyQuest and that like he is a genuine fan of the org and cares about him. Even if like the most popular videos are patch notes and like more about the game itself than anything else, like you know that like he's passionate about it. And that still rings through. For like the other orgs, like you said, kind of making like a influencer out of it. It's interesting because it's like in theory, like you want kind of like a host. What you're looking for on these channels is like a host that can like weave the story, kind of like who's the dude that does Hard Knocks?
Oh, I don't remember his name, but I know.
Yeah,
exactly what you're
but he goes around to the different teams and like is the one that controls the story and the narrative that's being told based on what he's seeing and everything else. And like
Yeah.
he gets to weave the story that is Hard Knock Chicago. It's not the players. I mean, the players are there and by all means are like the painting that he's making for us. But he is the one holding the brush. He is the one doing it. And when it comes to like team content, I don't feel like we know who holds the brush.
No.
And you want that person to kind of be front and center.
True. I mean, the biggest video the past 3 months from FlyQuest, C9, and TL is a 46K view one. And 3 months ago, there was a 76K view one from, that's a LS patch notes.
LS patch notes, yep.
The 46K view one is TL, and nothing outside of that has more than 30K in the past 3 months. And both of those were 3 months ago. So everything recently has been like less than 20-ish views.
Yeah.
To be honest, less than 20K. Like, there's a real problem going on with the teams building a brand. And honestly, thinking about it, like with how teams are slotting in, how the money's about to move around with Riot, and what these teams bought into the league for, like, I don't know what you think about the money and everything and the content ideas. I don't know how you build fan bases with those kind of content numbers. I mean, it's just not great. Maybe Sen will be like, Sen is the injection we need into just something new, but it's like, I don't know. I know I'm being I somehow got onto Debbie Downering out of nowhere, but I don't even know how I got here, to be honest. But
Yeah, it's just it's like it's.
I just started thinking about it.
You're
and I
trying
was
to
like, this
theorize
doesn't make sense.
how to build a brand. Like that's ultimately what.
Yeah. I just don't. I think this is now the time because Worlds is coming. So this is where you have to build your brands. I mean, for a lot of these teams, they have full time now with their whatever bits of their roster they want to keep to build them a brand. And like we're saying, you should know the pieces you want to keep.
Yeah.
If you know the pieces you want to keep and you're not trying to make something with them that is reaction content to Worlds games or something, like they don't even have to be there. They can be at home with a webcam and a mic and react to games really quick or something. That's better effort than what we're getting right now. Granted, they'd have to care. I get that
So,
part is tough.
I had an easy one that I passed along, and I know it's been seen. I know it's been heard, and I won't name names, but I will say the brand. Do you know who Shopify has as a content creator?
No. Sapnap?
Wild Turtle. That's NRG, bro. What?
You're right.
Wild Turtle.
I was thinking of my team.
Do you
That's my
remember
bad.
early on FlyQuest, Wild Turtle used to do like Worlds vlogs and like go around Worlds even whenever FlyQuest didn't make it?
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah. Why not just let Wild Turtle become the face of Shopify Rebellion this offseason? And like let him like react to World, like even if the players are gonna be like react to it, but bring Insanity in for a video. And then Wild Turtle then like watches the group draw, but with Zazel. And like there's always like a player that's kind of mixed and match in between, but like it's centered around Wild Turtle going through the World's fan experience and like doing everything. And like you have at minimum 2 videos a week every week, and like people can then tune in. Like if something major is going to happen at Worlds, I'm going to tune in to see how Wild Turtle and Shopify sees it and reacts to it and what he thinks. And like that's an easy way to start building brand narrative if you are committed to having Wild Turtle there and he's willing to do it, and Wild Turtle cares about the brand. Because I'll tell you right now, I would do the same fucking thing for Under Thieves. That would be exactly my plan. If I'm running socials over there, okay, well, not socials. If I'm running content over there, I'm doing a recap video after every single game, which I'm going to be doing naturally, but I'll put it on their channel for free. Recap video after every day of playing with like a quick interview, possibly from like one of the guys to see like how they're doing, and just like recapping some of the series, like talking about a little bit. Like just being honest, like you can't tell me that like I can't say that if we're playing bad that we're not playing bad. Like I got to be able to be honest with it. We do reaction Mondays because there's always something coming out around that time. Arcane's going to be coming out a few weeks later at World's Finals. Like you just got to like constantly be on top of it at all times.
I mean, that would be the best video I can think of. Like, you can't. That would be nice. I think it would work pretty well to actually build them a fan base, because right now I don't think I can name like. I don't even think if Shopify had a live view of Worlds, it'd probably get maybe
No, it wouldn't.
200.
It would do nothing. You
max.
cannot live view it Worlds for them.
Yeah, I don't think they could even live view. So yeah, reaction would be a good start. Unfortunately, doing it with Wild Turtle as your first person, like whatever build-up he has will kind of go away because I doubt he's there next year. But
Well, I
you
mean,
are
he's
right.
coaching,
Like you have to
so
start somewhere.
maybe he is. He's coaching
Oh yeah,
and content
maybe.
creator. So there's like, if you want to keep him on, you can keep him on.
True. Yeah, because everybody's got to start throwing some sort of a Hail Mary or just a new strategy. Because right now the strategy seems a little weird, and we're going into the time where if you're gonna unveil something new, this is the chance.
Yep.
And also just own your own off-season hype, bro. Like, if Sheep drops it, be cryptic like Cloud9 is.
Yep.
But own your off-season. Don't let Sheep ruin it just because he wants to.
Yep.
Like, you can own that. That's really where some of TSM's most viewed videos were.
Yep.
Was roster releases. And I get people aren't doing TSM C9, TL roster level changes, but it would help.
Good. Very well, good. Anything else that we need to cover, or is that it for this week?
I can't think of really much else to talk about because I think we've covered it all. I somehow randomly went down a rabbit hole. I don't really know how I got there, but I did.
We always do.
Yeah, somehow I started talking about 100 Thieves, or 100 Thieves and viewers, and then the rest of the league and NRG, and it just blew up in my face, I guess. But they'll figure it out. They'll all get there. At some point we will. Viewership's at least looking good on the main broadcast. So that's nice.
We'll see come finals weekend. This is a big test. How many people can we get to show up in person and online? The world may never know.
True. And when in doubt, view bot out.
Clearly. All right, that's going to be it for us, ladies and gentlemen. We will catch you next week after finals. If you're in the New York City area, please come out to our finals watch party. I've got so much shit to give out. I want it all gone. I don't want to have to walk home with anything. That's going to be really embarrassing. So please show up if you can. Otherwise, tune in to any of the broadcasts for the main or for LCS Finals weekend, whether it's the 100 Thieves co-stream with Courage, the main broadcast, or you're at your favorite creators elsewhere. And just enjoy some League of Legends, folks. It's always a fun weekend. That's it for us. We'll catch you later.
Adios.
Bye-bye.